Greetings, salutations, happy Friday, July 31st, 2026. Welcome to Backstage, the daily show for entrepreneurs, founders, visionaries, and builders ready to stop waiting in the wings and let their stories power their growth. Thank you for being here. My voice, if you can't tell, I'm sure you can, still a little bit off, still a little bit of a cold still going on. So pardon the distortion and the gravelly voice. Hopefully by Monday, I will be back to my normal sound, but maybe it sounds like I'm doing all night radio on this thing. I don't know. Anyway, listen, I hope you're having a great week. It's coming to a close today. And I was reflecting on, kind of the previous episode and, kind of keeping people being willing to go out of your comfort zone and do different things and stuff like that. And so indulge me here for just a couple minutes. So back in high school and junior high, it started in junior high. Well, we call it middle school. Back in middle school, I ran for class president and I lost to Mindy. And then I won the next time. And then I was class president, and then in high school, I became the freshman class president and the sophomore class president. And then I became the whole school vice president. So guess what I wanted to do next? Can you imagine? That's right. I ran for president of the school. It was like, I think we called it ASB president, Associated Student Body. Associated Student Body. Anyway, ASB is what I remember. So for each of these things, of course, you had a campaign and we had posters and whatever, and speeches. And there was always a big assembly with a speech. Did you have this in your school? Did you run for anything? Well, I did, and I won. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4 in a row. So by the fifth one, it was mine. It was mine. The presidency was mine. I had earned it. I had won all these elections. I was out in the community doing talks. I knew all of the administrators. They liked and respected me. At least I think they did. And I could kind of maneuver between the adult world and the high school kid world really well. So I get up on the stage and I do, another typical high schooler politician speech about, what we're going to do. And it wasn't anything unusual. It was the same thing, basically, just a new style of it. And I don't have a record of it, but I did the talk. And then this guy named Warren Burrow, who was my competitor. Now, Warren was the sort of nemesis character for me at that time. So he was like the antithesis of me. I was straight-laced and buttoned up and, And he was, I guess I was more of kind of like a young Republican that you'd look at, kind of if you're old enough, Alex P. Keaton from that show back in the 80s, Family Ties. But very buttoned up, chinos, sometimes a jacket, and sometimes even a tie, I don't know if I had a briefcase or not, but it was a character I played, let's put it that way, and it was well worn. So pretty conservative. So Warren was the antithesis of that. I mean, he looked like he might be doing some illicit stuff, after school or maybe during school. He was plenty smart. Let me tell you, that guy was plenty smart, but he was just not there to follow the rules. And he didn't follow the rules in the speech either. And so what he did is he got up there and he sort of mocked the whole process. And he declared that he was going to, I believe he said, and if anyone from my high school days is listening, and I don't know if you are, let me know if I get this wrong or right. I don't recall. But I recall that he either said he was going to make the breaks longer or the lunch, like the in-between breaks, or the lunch break longer. It was basically something that he could not do, right? He couldn't do it. It was not going to happen. There was no changing the schedule. And he didn't care. He made some jokes. He was totally unusual. And, I thought, oh my goodness, everyone's going to know that this is a joke. and he can't do it. And why would they vote for him since he's just a joker? He's not to be taken seriously. Well, guess what? He won. And it was a shock. And let me tell you, I know, because I knew all the administrators, they were very upset. They definitely wanted me in there. But good for him. Unfortunately, he passed a number of years ago. I would have loved to have gone back and talked to him again. But, with time, I look back on that era and I just go, kudos to Warren. He had something going on there. And the lesson that I got from it was, there's a couple of them. I mean, you could look at what he did, but then I look at what did I do? Well, I didn't treat it as a new thing. I treated it as there was a bit of entitlement. There was a bit of continuation. Like, this is just sort of going through the paces of, okay, I'm going to do another speech. I'm comfortable doing speeches. And the thing is that there was a whole new crop of students, a large freshman class that did not know me as the career politician there. They didn't think I suspect my class voted for me. They knew all of us really well. But for people who didn't, they enjoyed the show. They thought Warren was entertaining, and he was entertaining. That was the thing. I'm sure he was more entertaining than me on that stage. So he captured them in that moment, and he won that election. Now, could I have overcome that by being, weird and wacky or doing something different? I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? But he did it, and I didn't. And people like new things. We've talked about that. They want to have a new thing revealed to them. And it's even okay if it's unrealistic, like promises. I mean, so I'm not saying go out on a stage and be unrealistic or tell lies. Okay. But I think the lesson all these years later that I think is applicable as ever is break the mold a little bit, do something different. I'm struggling with that myself. How do I just be a little bit more, wild? And I think it does. And the second piece is that every single talk, every single interview, if it's a keynote, if it's whatever, is its own thing. They are not continuations. The people who are listening are in it could be the same people, but a different day, or a different day and different people, right? Because we're just different on a different day. So be really, really present. And, I was doing a speech to the people as their emperor in my head. Look, I'm already the boss. I'm the president. So, and now I'm the vice president, and it's my right to be president. Well, no, it wasn't. It was not my right. And you don't have a right for an audience to think that what you said was interesting. None of us do. So I think being willing to, unfurl the tie for a second, just try out different stuff. You're going to fall on your face at times. But be willing to treat each and every opportunity as its own thing and be different. Try and be different. If not from others, from yourself. Just try something new. I'm doing that with my pitches at my networking group. I keep trying different ones, and they're not landing yet, honestly. And I know they're not. The head of the group has given me some great perspective on that. And so next time I'll try a different one and see if that lands a little bit better. It's not easy to do things that concisely and powerfully. So listen, it's not easy. All right. Forgive yourself if you've got some talk, or you go on these podcasts and you're like, man, I don't have anything. I'm not like lighting up the board here. It's okay. Keep at it, but stretch beyond your comfort zone a little bit. Otherwise, you're going to have a Warren come in and completely eclipse you. It'll happen. And rest in peace, Warren. Great job. I didn't like him at the time, but I tell you what, over time, I appreciate him a lot. So there you have it. All right. I hope that's helpful in some way to you. What does different look like for you? Who could you ask about how you're coming across that would give you honest feedback. I'm grateful to have that. I'm really grateful. And then, who inspires you? What kind of wacky things make you excited? What could you do to be outside of your norm, but you'd be okay to try it? Give that a thought over the weekend, and also just have a great time this weekend, whatever you're doing. Connect with some people you care about. Maybe read a book. Enjoy the sun if it's out. Most of all, be good to yourself and others. Thanks as always for listening, and we will check back again with you Monday. Bye-bye for now.